Hi everybody, how's it going? This is Warren from the Rhapsody Piano Studio. Hope you guys are all recovering from Thanksgiving dinner. I am. My belly is. Anyways, yeah. Hope you guys had a great socially distanced Thanksgiving. Welcome to today's lesson. We're gonna be learning. This is Torna, Surriento in English. Come back to Surriento. It's gonna be for intermediate piano. I'm gonna show you how to practice this piece, not only this song, but wow, what is that?
Go on, mix it up a little.
Okay. That's the weirdest thing ever. Wow, that's like the biggest technical difficulty I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, usually the ads don't pop up on my phone, which I'm streaming from. How is that supposed to happen, right? Anyway, so where was I? Not only am I going to show you how to practice this song, man, that really threw me off. But it's also a process that you can use to practice really anything on piano, whatever level you're at, whatever genre you're practicing, be it like classical or jazz or pop. Actually works really well for pop because it's just more simple, right? But yeah, so once you know how to practice this song, just you apply it to other stuff. But I'll explain that as we go along. We'll go ahead and get started. This is Torna a Surriento. So what I basically did there is just play you guys the opening. When you're playing something for the first time, unless I mean, if you get a little bit more advanced, it's another story. I forgot to mention that. But when you're playing something for the first time for like a beginner, intermediate, or easy music, you want to pick the smallest part. So I just play for you the opening. Once you have that opening, you can proceed to break it up into even smaller parts if necessary. And it's going to be necessary because I'll show you. If you do that, it's easier to identify some patterns, especially at the intermediate level. Once you know the patterns, you don't actually need to practice as much. So on the right hand, you know it's this theme. It just does it again, and then now from the A flat, and we're gonna stop there. So it's just this pattern, and now from the A, you can imagine it keep going. Right? So I would just practice that first, getting used to this pattern. Okay. Now you don't even need to play it twice since it is a repeat. So yeah, you can just keep going to here. Okay, and then here. And that's all you practice. So on the right hand, and you don't even need to really do the rhythm if you're having trouble with that the first time. Maybe you just go really slow to really get the pattern down. I'm just showing you different ways to practice, like slow practice. I'm not going to do too much of it here, but you know, slow practice is definitely a good idea as well. Okay, so just this. Let me show you now. This is the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 measures, and you want to stop at least one beat into the next. We're going to call it a chunk. We can call this process small chunking. Simply try it together. Here we go. Ready, set, go. The pedal's good as well if you want. Alright, now let's look at the left hand. So even there, we just take the first two measures. The same pattern. Now it's just going down a third. So first time it's on the G, then on the E flat. Okay, then we move down to F. Yeah, this is a really beautiful song. Definitely listen to the Pavarotti version. So it's just an octave from an F. So going down. I just go typically 1 3 2 4 3 5. In fact, if you use it without pedal, something gonna be very difficult to do. But I'm not using any pedal, and I'm just really getting the legato without any pedal. And then once you get that, then use pedal because you don't want to depend on it too much. Okay. All right. So let me show it from the beginning again. Can go slower than that. Let's go. Ready, set, go. Alright, so we separated hands. Now we're gonna go back to both hands. Once you kind of figure out what each hand is doing, then you know it becomes a lot simpler. Here, first two measures, the right hand is the same, and then you hear the left hand going down, and then now this. Okay, so when you again going back to hand separate practice to give you a better understanding of what each hand is doing, and then a different relationship when it goes back together. Okay, start from the beginning. Ready, set, go. Next part. Yeah, so here in the right hand is where we finally kind of have somewhat of a melody. The next two measures is basically these are just C minor chord inversions, except you want to roll it. Kind of sounds like a harp or even a guitar, right? So that's going on in the right hand. Now let me show you again. And we'll try that together. Ready, set, go. Okay, left hand. Not much there, just chords. And then I'm just gonna skip that rest because there's no point in counting it without the right hand. So just the different positions here, 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 here. That's how I would practice this actually. You save some time because it's not really about the rhythm so much right now as just getting to each position as fast as you can. Okay, let's try it together. Ready, go. Take it even slower if you want. All right, back to both hands. Okay, try it together. Ready, set, go. Okay, now we go back to the beginning and put it all together what we have so far. So I'm going to show you how this whole intro sounds again with both hands. And if you go through this process, I'm playing it for you again, then you should be understanding it on a more deeper level, okay? One thing to mention even on the last part, make this next one softer. Okay? And also, you do play with rubato, but I'll tell you in the beginning, not a good idea. Rubato takes some finesse, all right? So you want to be practicing with a metronome at all times. And if you think of it like a percentage, right? Maybe like 80% with the metronome, even 90% with the metronome, and then 10% without the rubato. Because if you just practice this without knowing the rhythm, it's gonna sound awful, okay? So a lot of people practice that way. Like they don't even know the rhythm, and you want to use rubato. Rubato is something that you can play around with the rhythm once you know what it's like. So you have to practice with the metronome first, unless your rhythm is absolutely perfect. Okay. All right. Now I'll go back to right hand, left hand. We'll do each hand separate again, and then back to both hands. Try to make it softer. Doesn't work too much. One thing I want to mention: when you're getting a turn here, do a lot of slow practice because you want this to be smooth. It's like one continuous motion, right? Because it can be kind of choppy. That's what you don't want. Okay. All right. Let's try it together. Ready, set, go. To get even more detail when I'm rolling these, you want to make sure you hear every single one of these notes. Yeah, I guess everything's okay. I don't know, some technical difficulties with this one today. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's kind of wonky sometimes. Okay, now I'll go back to the left hand. Skipping those two rests again, all right? Let's do that together. Ready, set, go. Yeah, again, don't worry about the timing. Now we go back to both hands. Together, ready, set, go. Alright, that's the basic idea on how to practice correctly. Okay, so this is the universal process that I've showed you here. So just a little recap: pick a small chunk, you do hand separate practice, hands together. Pick the next chunk, hands separate, hands together, and then when you can, you just build them up into bigger and bigger sections. So we're just gonna repeat this process throughout this whole entire piece, the song, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and I'll probably give you like longer sections as we go along, just so you can hear like the entire section instead of chopping it up, and also give you some goals, some targets to aim for when you get good at doing smaller sections. Do longer sections to really challenge yourself, and also to improve your concentration and whatnot. Okay. The last thing before we keep going, once you understand this process, you're really getting an an idea of like, okay, these steps, and maybe even write it down, but even internalize it, you absorb it, it's pretty much memorized, then go on ahead and use the tutorial for this as well. Every lesson has a companion tutorial, okay? So it'll be in the links all over the place. I forgot to mention pick up sheet music too, right? Once you understand this process, you can use any of my tutorials and then just come back to the lessons if you need like a refresher, okay? Then I have tons of lessons always coming out, like different levels. So you can do advanced, you can do beginning, easy, so wherever you're at, whatever level you want, and maybe even request on these, okay? So once you understand this process, any tutorial you can learn on your own. So you can just, it's actually better, right? Because you don't have to like hear me explain stuff. If you don't want to hear some certain things, you can just skip to the parts that you want to practice. You just look at what I'm playing in the left hand. You can do it in slow-mo and fast forward or whatever you want, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy that. And if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button. Thank you very much, Chucky. Appreciate that. Here is the next part. So bad. So we're gonna stop there at the Dolce. Here's going into a major key. So we're still in C minor here. Then looks like C major there. Could be wrong about that, but anyway. So here's this part now. So again, these are just inversions of C minor. Now same thing here. These are inversions of an F minor chord. Then here, the melody takes over from the left hand. Here, so it's kind of continuing on. So here, we'll go over in more detail later, but here's the melody. And then key change right there. Don't forget about that. Okay, so basically, just practicing those inversions. Okay, now let me play it one more time without any explanation. Try it together. Ready, set, go. On to the left hand, like I was mentioning. So that is going to be the melody first in the left hand. So whatever you do in the right hand when we come back to it, don't make that too loud. So you're gonna have to voice a little bit more in the left hand. Okay. So a little bit more sound in the left hand. Then here you fade out because it becomes the accompaniment again. So you can even think like different levels of dynamics that help. So here it could be like a mezzo forte, and here just back to mezzo piano or piano if you like. Okay, all right, let me play it again. That's how you create different layers of sounds. Okay, left hand, ready, set, go. And back to both hands. Rubato there, so just be careful about that. Just some demonstration, something to aim for. But again, play it as rhythmically as possible in the beginning. I'll see you later, Charles. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so we'll try that together. Ready, set, go. Slower. Try to keep it slow. change. C looks like C major. Might not be right about that, but it looks like C major to me. I'm actually gonna stop it where we have the sixths. So just from there, okay? Now, here's just the right hand part. It's getting a little bit more trickier. A lot of jumps all over the place. And some other things to mention as I go along. So, there's grace notes there. Make sure you don't make it too technical. Right? It's just like a decoration. So, because if I go really slow, it's like you kind of playing the grace note as if it's part of the melody line. So that's one thing, to do it really slow. Okay, to make sure that sound evens out. Other thing is you gotta make sure it's in time. So two different ways I recommend practicing this is one, so making that like a part of the melodic line. And then when you go back to the rhythm, play it without the grace note so it doesn't affect your timing. Then when it's solid, you add it back in. Now here, quickly move. This is kind of difficult to pull off. So from 4 on a B to 5 on the E, because they're indicating you want to hold that for the whole entire measure. If I use no pedal, it goes like this. So you can hear that. And we'll stop right there at the mezzo forte. It's a little trickier from there. Okay, so let me show you now one more time. Okay, there's a little bit of rubato there. Another thing to point out, a little bit more sound on the second beat. Okay, it's the way it works out musically. All right, let's try it together. Ready, set, go. So a lot of jumps all over the place. Definitely practicing with the metronome once again. Especially here, so you're not really relying on the rubato because you're having technical problems, okay? All right, left hand. A little more sound on the bass and less in the middle notes. Creates a nice balance. I like that, it's like a nice counter melody. Together, ready, set, go. And you might even want to just play the parts different, like just one part at a time, like the bass line. If you want to work more on like sound production and listening, okay? Back to both hands. Okay, doesn't all have to be in time like that. When you get better at it, you can kind of mess around. So this is kind of in time, and the second one, something like that. That's probably too much, but you know, all that alteration stuff. If you want to mess around with it, it comes later. You got to get the basics down first. So just making an important point there. All right, back to both hands. Ready, set, go. Careful with the jump again. Next part. Stopping at that forte. So you notice here, and then here goes right back into minor melody or minor harmony, right? Looks like for about 3 measures maybe. So you can see the C minor there, even here. But then here, look, right back to major. Yeah, so that's like one of my favorite parts. Definitely examine and practice that a little bit more so you can notice those very subtle harmonic differences going from major to or minor back to major again, okay? On the right hand, let's go back to hand separate now. Now here it's kind of hard to pull up. I'm trying to remember my fingering for this. I think I'll go 5, 3, 2. You might even want to do 5, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4. But I like just, so it just thumbs on the bottom and then 5, 4, 3. Because it's easier to work out the legato on the right hand. Another really good way to practice, this is definitely something you're going to want to do aside from this. You can even just turn it into like a little exercise. So take this really slow. I took my foot off the pedal just to demonstrate. Takes a lot of finger control to do this. But creating a legato on the top without any pedal. So if you go and thumb on the bottom, of course, you can't make that into legato, but just maybe a little faster. It's really hard to pull off, but it's a really advanced thing right there. But you have to have a lot of finger control, something to develop, okay? Let's keep going. Now we have thirds. Try to make it legato without pedal, otherwise it sounds too choppy. Okay, so work on your legato here. Something that not only will help you with this piece, but a lot of other stuff. Fermata, take some time, and then I always want to show you both hands there. This goes right back into tempo. That's the way I like it. Okay, so we'll actually stop it. I'll stop it right here when we do hands separate, so we can do both hands from there. All right, let me show you one more time. Right hand. Good. Let me do that again. Try it together. I'll take it slower. This is I think one of the probably the trickiest part in this whole entire piece. Ready, set, go. Okay. One word of advice. I like doing these lessons because sometimes the ideas just pop up to me as I go along. Definitely get into the habit, especially something like this, like sing the melody, right? Like you don't have to do it in public. Don't do it in public, right? Do it from the safety and convenience and privacy of your own place, but really think about playing this as if you're singing it. Because it's not the whole point of really like to be able to sing it well. It's just you get the proper breath, right? Little breath. Maybe longer. Bigger breath here. So you know, it's like bigger breath. You're gonna take some more time in between those phrases and whatnot. That's how to really make it the rubato to really pull that off well. Okay. All right. Left hand. Are something you're gonna have to practice. Okay, so just doing this a bunch of times, right? We call this. I'll just go with this concept really fast. If you want to practice the jump, you play slow, you move fast, and as soon as your finger touches the note, but no sooner than you play it. Same thing here. So if I'm doing it this fast, like I'm actually getting to it a split second early before I play it. Okay, so that's the way to practice these types of jumps. Not every type of jump, but these types of jumps, okay? All right, I'll play for you one more time now. Okay, try it together, much slower. Ready, set, go. Back to both hands. Ready, set, go. Going on, this is the last part. Back into the tempo. Okay. There might be one place you need to practice. It's a little tricky. I want you to do 6, but now you're adding another note in between. So let me show you my fingering there. 1, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. You want to end short and dramatically. So here. Out of arm. Okay, you make sure you get a good sound, because if it's just only wrist, it sounds kind of harsh. Right, so really play it into the keys. And you're thinking you want to hold it as long as possible. Here's another way to practice. I just showed one of my advanced students this the other day. Whenever you have chords moving upwards in succession, even something like this, we get too caught up with playing keys. You think up, down, but you're thinking right and left, actually, like that. So here, I would play it this way, actually. You play it, as soon as you play it, it's like you're jumping over to the next key, to the right. Kind of hard to pull off, but it's harder to do at slower tempo. So if you want to practice this motion, actually go fast. See that? So it's kind of like I'm going right. So if I do it octaves, like boom. See that? I'm almost like jumping to the next key like that. And then when you go slow, this whole thing is kind of like one motion. Instead of just down, up, move, down, up, move, down, up, move. It's gonna sound really bad that way. So I'm actually just going all the way to the E flat. One motion all the way to the E flat and then down. Okay, let me play it for you one more time, just the right hand. We're gonna skip this. Just practice that on your own, right? Okay, now left hand. So it's just descending bass line here. C's on top. And a jump. Practice the jump here. The same thing. You don't want down, up, okay? Another jump. Wait for the last word. Okay. So it's important to really clear that out, because if you don't clear it out, you miss like the effect of those rests, right? In the right hand. So even more obvious in the left hand. Okay, I'm gonna play for you one more time. Okay, ready, set, go. Thank you, Aldo. Appreciate that. All right, we're going back to both hands. One measure before. Let's take it from the odd tempo. Okay, ready, set, go. So, hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Remember to, watch this as many times as you need to, because this is a lesson, right? So if I actually taught this to a student, we're not gonna learn the whole thing in one lesson. So it's over the course of a few weeks, maybe even a month or so. So if you're studying any one of these, it would be a good idea to think long term. Like if you get the sheet music for this and you watch my lesson, maybe watch it once a week or something like that, like an actual piano lesson, right? Or as many times as you want. If you watch it every day, you probably learn it like super fast, okay? But definitely repeatedly watch this many times if you need to, if you're trying to learn this specific one. But if not, you can always just learn other songs, the other lessons that I have, just all different sorts of different varieties of music, and eventually you will learn it's important to just learn the concepts over time. More fast. Well, if it's a fast piece, fast song, I would, but this is not supposed to go fast. All right, and not that I'm trying to show off or anything, okay? But yeah, so remember, pick up the sheet music, check out all the links for this, check out my additional playlists. I have some practice guides that are more structured, a lot more of my free lessons. Check out the website, you can find stuff that's a lot more well organized. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving, and I'll see you for the next one. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Forgot about that. Okay, see you later for reals. Bye now. Happy practicing.